Okay, so now let's look on page 91 at the option. We're going to do that one since we couldn't do the very first one without the card sort. Oh, now we're really getting into some big numbers. It says 35 times 0.08, which we know if we read that would be 8/100ths, tenths, hundredths. Well, Kieran says we can just look at it like whole numbers and multiply them. 35 times 8, we can do that because we know how to do multi-digit multiplication. So 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 3 is 24, plus the 4 that we carried is 28. So we would have 280, but our problem was in hundredths. So we know that our answer needs to be in hundredths. So we would have 280 hundredths. All right, on the next one. They gave us, I'm glad we found Kieran's way. This works really good for big numbers too. It gave us 35 times 0.7. So I already know that my answer is going to be in tenths. So I can do 35 times 7. 7 times 5 is 35. Carry the 3. 7 times 3 is 21, plus the 3 that we carried is 24. So I would have 245, and it was in tenths, so my answer would be in tenths, so I would have 24 and 5 tenths. Okay, now when we did that first one, the 35 times 0.08, we came out with 280, and we knew our problem had to be in hundredths, so our decimal was here. Well, on the next one, it gives us 35 times 0.78. We did 35 times 8/100ths, and this is what we got. And don't we have 35 times 8/100ths down here? Because in the hundredths place, we still have an 8. And the next problem gave us 35 times 7/10ths, and we also have 7/10ths here. So let's do this 2 different ways and see if we come out with the same answer, because I think that since I know this and I know this, if I add them together, I should get the answer to this. All right, so if I multiply the number parts that I see, I would have 35 times 78. So we are going to have to do some multi-digit multiplication here. We would have 8 times 5 is 40. Carry the 4. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus the 4 that we carried is 28. And look, we came out with 280 up there. Yeah, that makes sense. And then I have to have a placeholder 0. I would have already used that one. 7 times 5 is 35. Carry the 3. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus the 3 that we carried is 24. And then we know we add, so we would have 0. 8 plus 5 is 13. Carry the 1. 2 plus 4 is 6. Plus the 1 that we carried is 7. And 2. So if we just do the whole number parts, we have 2,730. And then according to Kieran, we look in our problem and see, okay, it was to the hundredths place, so our answer needs to be to the hundredths place, which would be 27 and 30 hundredths. Well, let's check my theory a minute ago. I said if I had already found to the tenths, because that was the same, and to the hundredths, I should be able to add them up and get the same answer. Remember, when we're adding decimals, we have to line up that decimal place. So I would go ahead and line that up before I even put my other number on there. So I had 2.80, and then I had 24.5. So remember, we have to line them up if we're adding. Okay, I would have 0 plus nothing is 0. 8 plus 5 is 13, carry the 1. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus the 1 I carried is 7. And 0, or nothing plus 2 is 2. So look, yeah, I came out with exactly the same answer. So if you already have done a whole number part times a hundredths, and then a whole number part times the tenths, if they get put together, the 7/10ths and the 800ths, then all you would have to do is add those two together to get your final answer. Okay, and then the last one that it gives us. All right, the next one that it gives us is 42 times 0.66. Okay? 42 times 0.66. All right, now we know that we can multiply those whole number parts to get our answer over there, and then we know already that our answer is going to be to the hundredths place, don't we? So we have 42 times 66. So we have 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1. 6 times 4 is 24, plus the 1 that we carried is 25. Don't forget your placeholder 0. And we've already used that carryover, so we can mark him out. And again, 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1. 6 times 4 is still 24, plus the 1 that we carried is 25. We add them together. So we would have 2. 5 plus 2 is 7. 2 plus 5 is 7. And 2. So our answer over here would be 2,772. But we know that we're dealing with decimal numbers. And if our problem is in hundredths, then our answer would be in hundredths. So our final answer would be 27 72 hundredths. All right, guys, that's it for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.